Yeah, we're good.
Cool, right on. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Oh.
I'm done.
You better stop!
Hey, you gotta give him a moment of silence. I mean, he's not gonna be around to hear it later, so.
Let's let these two just go on.
No, it's okay. I got some stuff I prepared for you.
It's getting good. I like it.
Right?
Yeah. He's having fun with it.
Oh man. So I don't know if you guys have seen on TV lately that they got a lot of trailers coming out for these new Star Wars movies and Star Wars video games. It got me thinking, what if Darth Vader didn't really need that mask to breathe? What if he wore it because he was trying to duck out on 20 years of intergalactic child support?
Hey.
Could you imagine that episode of Maury in space? His head in a jar like Futurama going, "You are the father." Or any other 80s kids in here? I got one over there, right? So you've probably seen the t-shirts that say, everything I need to know I learned from 80s cartoons. Well, I tried living that life, but hitting a cat over the head with a mallet just doesn't get anything done.
Dude, thank you. As always.
So, I was thinking about the state of the world that we're in, because comedians are like modern day philosophers, a couple people have said that. And I realized that there's something that we're missing that we really should bring back. And it's the G.I. Joe public service announcements. I don't know if you remember seeing these on TV all the time back in the late 80s, early 90s, but they used to teach us really important stuff, like don't be a jerk, don't play with a live power line, don't go play hide and seek inside of an abandoned refrigerator, important stuff that can keep us safe, But I thought we should try to revamp these for the modern day. So let me set the scene for you, okay? You're driving down the highway, texting in one hand, beer in the other behind the wheel, and all of a sudden from the left-hand side of the car, you hear, Snake Eyes rolls up on a motorcycle on your driver's side. And he taps the window with his katana, tap, 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 and you look over and you meet his gaze and he just,
Oh, Lord have mercy.
G.I. Joe. Or here's another one, bullying is a big thing in the news nowadays. You don't want to see these kids bullied, and I think G.I. Joe can help with that. So set the scene for you. You got the field out behind a schoolyard where you got two kids. One of them's bullying the other, like Timmy gets his clothes from Goodwill. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Sergeant Slaughter comes running up from the back of the field, and he grabs the bully by the neck and just a suplex. And then he goes, "This one's for Timmy, elbow drop. This one's for me, elbow drop. And this one's for the good old US of A. G.I. Joe."
All right. Yep.
Or, you only ever see the good guys in the public service announcements. What about the bad guys? I say we give Cobra Commander a chance for once. His campaign would be against FaceTiming in public. So I'll set the scene for you. You're at the food court at the mall. Everybody's trying to have a nice time, enjoy their meal, and have a good time. But there's somebody in the middle of the food court sitting there FaceTiming on their phone, going, "My man ain't nothing. I got 5 kids. He ain't feeding nobody." And Cobra Commander walks up out of nowhere, and he goes, "I lead a ruthless terrorist organization, and I wouldn't do that. It's common courtesy. G.I. Joe." So, I like to get into trouble. Not the kind where the cops get called, but the kind where they just ask you not to come back to the establishment anymore. And some of my favorite trouble to get into is at Walmart. I like to put on a blue shirt and a pair of khakis and walk around ignoring the customers when they try to ask me where stuff is. Or if you've worked in retail, you've probably heard of reverse shopping. My version's a little different. Instead of putting things back where they go, I put random items in strangers' shopping carts. You haven't lived until you've seen the look on a 90-year-old woman's face when she realizes there's a box of Magnums in her buggy. Or my favorite, if you go up to the phones in the middle of the aisles and you press *96, it unlocks a hidden Easter egg. It's the intercom. I like to do something like this. Dude, attention, Walmart shoppers. Clean up on aisle 7. Someone's dropped a beat. Thank you. So, I've got what I like to call beatbox Tourette's. I can't keep it in my head. I've got to let it out whenever, wherever, And one of my favorite things to do, I kind of like to use it as a superpower for evil. I'll go up to the gas station and ask the cashier for cigarettes, like I've got one of those tracheotomy boxes. Marlboro 100s, please. They don't like that very much.
Thou art evil.
But I've also realized there's just inappropriate places to beatbox too. Like when you're at a job interview. Do you have any special skills? Yeah. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to
Move it!
So
They're giving me flashbacks.
it's a great movie. But one of the other ones is like I could never be a pallbearer. Because I just get that box up over my shoulder and I can't help myself. I'm just glad you guys are having a good time. I'm having a blast. I love getting up here and doing stuff like this.
You ever follow somebody around with like the Darth Vader theme song, like you're a stormtrooper in attendance?
Back when I played tuba, I used to do that. I would follow people and play the tuba, Dun, dun, ba, 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 ba. Yeah, you got it. So, like, I've got to turn things over to the next performer here, so I'm going to leave you guys with a thought, right? So, I think the world would be a much cleaner place if we put Swiffers on the end of all the blind people's cans. So, my name is Joey. You can check me out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It's under Joey Weeks Comedy. I'd love to have you guys follow me. So, have a good night.
Joey Dukes, you doing